Hey everyone, Jason here. Welcome back. Today we are learning how to shuffle cards for beginners. This is the Riffle Shuffle with bridge in the hands. It can be done standing, on the table, in your face, just about anywhere. So if you don't know how to shuffle cards, you're in the right place. Even if you do, keep watching. Who knows, you might improve your technique. Now I'll show you the moves step by step, then we'll see some cool slow motion footage, and at the very end I'll give you some specific troubleshooting techniques. First, take the cards in your dominant hand. You want 2 fingers on the bottom, your thumb on top, and 1 finger on each side. Then you're going to split the cards about in half using the other hand, like that. Let's try that a little bit slower. So your fingers are in this position. The thumb from the other hand comes over, breaks the cards about in half. Then it rotates down, the other hand helps push it up and over, and the thumb takes it on top. Now the hands should be in a symmetrical position. From this position, you're going to have to adjust your hands before you can move on. There's several things that happen all at once, and it kind of looks like this. So to break it down, as soon as you get into this position, your hands are like this, and if you'll notice, the thumb is sticking way off the edge, and that's not where we want it. We need the thumb to be more like that, so you can more carefully release cards one at a time. First, we need to move the thumbs back, and I can move the thumbs freely because of the way I'm holding the cards on the bottom securely. So move the thumbs back, then you're gonna bring the fingers to the bottom and smash the deck into your palm like this. Oh, and I forgot to add, you can use all 3 fingers at the bottom or just 2, like this, whichever is more comfortable. So you can securely hold them. That way when you riffle the cards, they don't fly everywhere. It's like you don't need a table because you've created your own table in the air. Okay, so those things happen in fairly rapid succession. So from here, it's adjust, adjust. Then you're gonna turn your hands like this, and then you're gonna move your fingers around to the back side because you need them here to create the pressure. At this point, you create the pressure. You want a lot, and you let them individually fall one after the other, like that. You put your thumb on top. I move my fingers around here, so I'm holding the cards securely between here and my thumbs, and of course these fingers. So everything's held very securely right now. Next, you want to bend the cards up. So it goes like this. You're just bending them up into an arch shape. And you really need to keep your thumbs on top like this, and you're pushing inwards, so everything's kind of stuck there. But when I start to release pressure from the bottom, they riffle together. Now that didn't look great because I was going so slow, but in real time, let's go through it one more time. So you take the cards in your dominant hand, note the finger position, you should be doing the same. Divide the cards about in half. Immediately, you adjust your thumbs, you bring it in closer to your palm, you rotate down, move the fingers around, then you can start to release the cards. And at this point, you really want to make sure you're bending the cards enough. You have kind of an L shape or like a 90-degree angle on both sides like this. Push and bend, and basically you're releasing pressure just a little bit here, and that allows the cards to start falling. Now you're not going to damage your cards unless you hold them in that place for a long time like I did, but really it's not an issue if you're going quickly because you bend them one way, then you bend them the opposite way. So your deck is going like that, then like this, and it's not a problem. Now let's check this out in slow motion. Breaking the deck in half, rotating it over, thumb grabs the top, immediately repositioning the thumbs, grabbing the deck in closer to the palm, fingers go around the back to create pressure, hands are rotating inwards, you can see the L shape as the cards are released. Immediately the thumbs go on top, fingers positioned around, create the arch, and slowly but surely releasing pressure near the bottom. Now, as promised, troubleshooting. I actually have 4 tips to help you here. Number 1, perhaps your cards are getting stuck like this. That's no good. So what's going on here? How do we solve that? It's easy. Basically, when you're doing this shuffle, you need to consider the rotation of your hands. You don't want to be like this. You don't want to be like that. You want to be deeply rotated enough down, because if you're just a little bit rotated, it's going to stick. So just rotate more downwards like this. No problem. This, no good. This, real good. Number 2, releasing cards more individually and less in huge chunks. Here's the problem. We have large chunks of cards here, but it's better to have more of an even mix. So how do we accomplish that? Well, it's actually not too hard. Again, you just need to make sure you have that L shape I told you about, that 90-degree bend, because what that does is, if you look at the edge of the cards here, right now it's hard to release the cards individually because the cards come at a flat angle here. So when you bend them enough, like really bend them, you'll see it creates a bevel. Now it's much easier to release the cards one at a time. So basically just make sure you are bending the cards hard enough and really creating an L shape. And you get a much better result than before. Number 3, now if you're still having issues with big clumps of cards being released all at once, try doing this. Just turn the cards face up. Because some decks are cut in a different way, just shuffling the cards face up could make it easier on you while you're learning. Give it a try and see if it helps. Lastly, if you're still having trouble trying to learn this move, just grab an older deck. Older cards are more flexible, so it doesn't require as much muscle to bend them, as well as being less slippery. The cards don't slide because they're older. When you're trying to learn with a new deck, you might find like they're sliding around too much and maybe requires too much force to bend them. So just as kind of training wheels, you can learn with an old deck, but of course you should be able to shuffle with both of them in the future. That's it. If you enjoyed the video, smash like. Leave a comment below, let me know what you thought, and if you want to see more tutorials like this, be sure to subscribe. That's all for this time. Goodbye.